I really didn't know what to do for a few months. I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. In the heaviness of being successful, the heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. During the next 5 years, he started 2 companies. One was Next, and Next wrote the OS 10 or whatever it is, operating system that Apple uses now. The other company was Pixar, and you know it from a Toy Story and all these new animated movies. Totally changed the industry. And then on top of that, the CEO couldn't run Apple without jobs, and they hired him back. And he sold Next back to Apple and made a semi-truckload of money. Listen what he says. I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired at Apple. It was awful tasting medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love. Do you hear this? Probably one of the most successful entrepreneurs in my lifetime said, I didn't have to work. When I got fired from Apple, I could have lived the rest of my life comfortably sitting out on the patio, eating hot dogs and drinking Heinekens. But my life wasn't meaningful. And he went out and started 2 new companies. And he says the drive for it all was a passion for what he was doing. Now, let me ask you a hard question. Who decides what you do with your life? You say, well, my company decides. No, they don't. You say, well, my bills decide. No, they don't. Well, I got to live up to these expectations. No, you don't. You can't ever start to live passionately until you will accept personal responsibility. You do what you do because you choose to do it. You work where you work because you choose to work there. You have the attitude you have because you choose to have that attitude. Abraham Lincoln said, I find that people generally enjoy life about as much as they choose to. Living passionately begins when we accept responsibility for the phrase, whatever your hand finds to do. I am responsible for what I do. I am responsible for the decisions I make. I am not a victim to the world around me. I'm not a victim to the economy. I'm not a victim to any of these things. Hey, church, do you remember a couple weeks I told you in this economy there are going to be people who figure it out and make millions? A book just came out. I just read the book review on it. A couple of guys figured this out when it was all happening, and they bet against the market, made billions. It's not the economy. It's how you choose to engage the economy. Do you see? People are figuring it out right now. They're choosing to figure it out right now, and they're doing the kind of things that are going to make their businesses just blow the roof off in the future. Each one of us, to live passionately, has to say, I get to decide what I do. I get to decide. And I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to decide to do the things that make my life meaningful, rich, noble. I'm going to decide to do work that I have a chance to be passionate about and do something effective and meaningful. I'm going to tell you right now, if I had to work at a assembly line, I'd be getting called into the boss's office all the time. I could not do that passionately. Just not who I am. I'm ADD. I can't stay focused on putting 15 bolts on 15, or, see, I don't even know what they're called. I just can't stay passionate about that. But look, I've heard people can. They sing all day. They joke with their buddies. They can be passionate about that. We all are responsible to figure it out. Living passionately grows when we determine to give our best effort to everything we're doing. See, you get to decide how much of yourself you're going to give away in what you're doing tomorrow. You get to say, I'm tired of working harder than everybody else. I'm tired of and then just give half of yourself and see how energized you are at the end of the day. Just go half speed tomorrow and see if your life doesn't feel about half speed. On the other hand, you get yourself out of bed and you say, I'm the man. I'm showing up today. I've got work to do. I'm going to accomplish stuff. I'm going to make the life better for the people around me. Kiss your spouse. Pet the dog. Wave to the neighbors. Let somebody cut in front of you and don't scream at them. Just know in your head they're an idiot. Get to work. Get in there. Don't horse around. Don't check your stupid eBay account. I mean, bore into your work. Work hard. Get something done. Be special. At the end of the day, you're going to be going home singing, hi-ho, off to work we go. The Bible says if you want to live passionately, you got to go for it. Whatever you decide to do, bring your best self. Bring your whole self. Do it with all your might. You say, you don't know where I work. You wouldn't act like that at work. Oh, yes, I would. I've worked at the sleaziest places in the known universe, trying to work my way through college. I've worked at places where only drunks and college kids would work, and you were hard to tell the two apart. The job you hate right now, you get unemployed for 1 month and see if that job doesn't look a whole lot better to you. The people you can't stand being around, you get unemployed for about 6 months, and those people are going to start looking like Santa Claus to you. You see, it doesn't take very long if we get in a different situation to really feel the power of the setup song. You're going to miss this. You're going to want this back. You're going to wish these days hadn't gone by so fast. These are some good times, so take a look around. You may not know it now, but you're going to miss this. You hear that? The family you can't enjoy, you're going to miss them. The job you think is terrible, you get unemployed, you're going to miss it. The days that you think you're just dragging yourself through, you're going to wish you had some of those days back. Unless you decide to live passionately. Unless you decide to find what you can do and do well and do it passionately and bring your best self every day, then you won't have any regrets because you gave your best self to every day, and it'll all add up to contentment.